The NFL's worst nightmare is happening. It's week 6 in the season, and NFL players are continuing to protest the national anthem, though not as many as before. According to Breitbart, the backlash from fans is widespread and undoubtedly causing concern for NFL executives hoping to move past the controversy. During Sunday's games, the stadiums were littered with empty seats, and thousands of fans refused to show up for the games. Isn't that precious? Love it. A Twitter user known as Bradley Wilson posted this photo showing many empty seats at the Houston, Texas games. Kickoff and empty seats, hashtag NFL. User by the name of Fistful of Doom posted another photo of numerous empty seats at the Jacksonville Jaguars game with the caption, "You know who isn't winning? The NFL. This was kickoff time in Jacksonville. Look at those empty seats. You know who isn't winning, that's for sure. Look at the empty seats. Look at that. Aren't you proud, Patriots?" These photos of empty stadiums give an inside view of the backlash from many NFL fans upset by the ongoing national anthem protest. It also goes without saying that a continual boycott against attending games is likely hurting the NFL's bottom line. Absolutely. As ESPN reported, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was hoping NFL players would stand for the games over the weekend when he sent out a letter encouraging players to stand. In the letter, he stated, "Like many of our fans, we believe that everyone should stand for the national anthem. It is an important moment in our game. We want to honor our flag and our country, and our fans expect that of us." He continued on by saying that he respects players' opinions, and you've probably heard all of that yet again. But we don't care, actually. This refusal by some players to acknowledge their protests are offensive, and find a compromise with upset fans has caused concerns for TV networks partnered with the NFL, according to Sporting News. Networks like CBS, Fox, NBC, and ESPN on Sunday refused to show the protests at all, remaining in commercial breaks throughout the presentation of the flag and the national anthem when the protests typically occur. While the networks cut back to game footage, presenters in the stadium avoided talking about the protests of fans' reactions. This stands in stark contrast from when these same networks covered the protests and booing fans when the protests first began. Given that many NFL fans have boycotted watching the games, it's understandable that TV networks would want to ignore the protests to avoid alienating their audiences. No, they don't want to show that the boycott is working against them. The empty stadiums show that many fans are following through on their threat to boycott the games, and the financial loss is bound to be staggering. It's great to see that some teams have found a way to continue demonstrating without upsetting their fans, like the Colts have done. Teams like these recognize the importance of their fans and have enough respect and adoration for their fans to make compromises without abandoning their message. Who wrote this article? It all has to do with money. That's the only reason they're standing. It has nothing to do with you, the fans. It's the money. That's all they care about. They are beginning to lose as fewer people show up. It also says something about the teams who have ignored upset fans and continued protesting in offensive and disrespectful ways. What are they saying to their fans when these players refuse to use alternate means of protesting that won't offend anyone and doesn't dilute their message? If this culture of disrespect and dismissal of fans continues taking root in the NFL, then the organization is likely heading for financial disaster, and it may not recover. It's already too late. People are hip to them, and people are not going to give them any money for their racist antics. It has nothing to do with patriotism, what they're protesting. No, they're protesting against Trump, basically, now. That's why all of them stopped. And that's why Trump won the election. This proves that Trump won the election by the empty seats at the NFL. Now, I know Trump is trying to get people to go back to the game once they stand, but it's too late. Not even Trump can make this work, because we see their attitude. They have a very nasty attitude, and basically that's the bottom line. People are getting smart, not spending their money for this kind of garbage to be disrespected. You're spending your hard-earned money to be disrespected like that? No. And you see that they're racist on top of that? No. Please, leave it alone. I don't care whether they stand, sit, crawl, kneel. I don't care what they do now. Whether they claim to be for America. No, they're not for America. They're only in it for themselves. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.